Ezekiel chapter 5 this week, and we have another, if you will, picture, and these, these would be like literal, pictures, visual aids for him to use while preaching to the children of Israel and telling them what rotten, no good, lousy kids they are. Okay? So we've got another picture here in chapter 5. And actually, this one, it takes place after, the siege is done. Okay, he is laying siege to the children of Israel while they're in captivity, and that's the picture that he's using. So now this takes place after that siege is done. And thou son of man, take thee a sharp knife, okay? Take thee a barber's razor. We know the barber's razors and the shavers that we have, but this would have, whatever they used those days, whether I don't know if they could have used what flint, I guess. You chip off a piece of flint and start scraping your face with it. Yeah. Take thee a sharp knife, a barber's razor, and cause it to pass upon thine head. Shave your head. Okay? And upon thy beard, and we're assuming this would be case he's shaving his head, shaving his beard. Okay? And then take the balances to weigh and divide the hair. Okay? So we've got this is a literal action. In chapter 4, he was told to prepare his dinner, his meal, his weight loss diet plan meal, in front of everybody. Okay? And he's out there doing it with this also. So it's a literal action. And actually, if you think about it, using an actual a sword, a regular military type sword, to do this, to shave your head with, that would be tricky. And doing it yourself, it's tricky enough. Just shaving regularly, and this would kind of enforce the symbolic meaning. Taking a regular military type sword, short sword, long sword, whatever, and of course the head would be a picture of the chief city, Jerusalem, okay, and the hair would be a picture of the inhabitants, the people of Jerusalem, the Jewish nation, okay, the children of Israel. And this is the inhabitants, and it would be kind of represent the ornament and glory of Jerusalem, being showing the picture of the people, okay, and the hair cut from the head. The exiles cast forth. These are the exiles. They're cut from their head. Now they're cast forth from their city. They're thrown out of their home. Okay, and some of them are taken to Babylon. Okay, and so this adds to the force of the representation. To shave the head was a token of mourning. Okay? Another one of those things, mourning, and was actually forbidden to the priests. The priests were not allowed to shave their heads, So this here, Ezekiel is a priest. He's a son of a priest. He's a priest. And because he is doing this, this is a picture of calamity and ruin. Okay? And it's all a picture of the punishment that the children of Israel are going to go through. So, and sword indicates avenging power, and shaving the head, the removal of grace and glory. Okay? And the scales and weights, take the balances to weigh and divide the hair. Okay, the weights, this is divine justice. So all of this has a picture. And he's using, again, his shaved head, his shaved beard, and all of this visual aids to show them what's going on, explain to them why, they're asking, why is this happening to us? Well, this is exactly why, and we're going to show you this is your punishment. Okay? So, thou shalt burn with fire a third part in the midst of the city. Okay? And remember, he is in the if you will, the settlement town of Chebar. It's in Babylon, and they have a Jewish captives are settled there. Okay? And so in the midst of the city, and he's also, this is a picture of the midst of Jerusalem. Okay? And being a picture. So a third part of it represents those who died, okay, within the city during the siege. Okay? During when the Babylonians came in and took over, they fought and there was a battle, and later during, when Nebuchadnezzar comes back and pretty much destroys the city and the temple, this third part represents those who died in that battle during that siege. Okay? So we've got that, and thou shalt take. Thou shalt burn with fire a third part in the midst of the city when the days of the siege are fulfilled. Okay? And this is again a picture of the siege that he mounted against the children and against Jerusalem, against this drawing of Jerusalem in chapter 4. And thou shalt take a third part, so we're dividing it into thirds, and smite it about with a knife. Okay? Smite it with a sword. And this would be the battle. Those who were killed about the city during the same period. Okay? Some were killed inside the city. Some were killed, outside the city, if you will. Some were killed in the rest of the nation, in the borders of the whole nation of Judah, and so that would be that third. Okay, smite it about with a knife, and it's just basically, with a sword, and what Ezekiel, what you are doing with this picture, okay, you're burning part of the hair over a fire. That's representing those killed. Then the third part, you are actually smacking it. That's what it's smite about it with a knife. You're just smacking it with a knife. And again, that represents another third that were killed in this time period. And the third part, thou shalt scatter in the wind. Okay? And you can see the whole picture here. There's children of Israel killed in battles, okay? Inside the city, outside the city, and then there's a third part scattered in the wind. And those are the ones taken captive. Okay? Those are the ones also that escaped. Both the battles and the captivity. Okay? There were still, Jewish people in other parts, if you will, at the time, if you will, the world, in other parts of the world, that this is referring to. Thou shalt scatter in the wind, okay? And I will draw out a sword after them. Okay? They will be pursued, if you will. Some will escape, some will die, but they're scattered, throughout. The world at that time would have been the Babylonian Empire, and the regions therein, they would have been scattered, also throughout the whole Mediterranean area. There would be some that would end up in some of the islands. Some of them might end up in Cyprus, and some of them might end up as far west as let's see, Troas. Yeah, which the city that Job was going to head for? Huh? No, when he got on the boat to go west. Yeah, I can't remember. Tarsus, there we go. Yeah, so there were Jews scattered all around the region, and this is who is being referred to, and they will be chased, scattered, and thou should also take thereof a few in number. Okay? And this few in number, these. Let's see, where, okay. Burn them. Take thereof and bind them in thy skirts. You're taking a portion of the hair, okay, and it would be a portion of this last third, the ones that escape getting killed, and you're if you will, putting them in your pocket, and you're holding on to those. Okay. And they're yet to be taken, kept in the fold of the garment, and that kind of, this refers to those that do still remain in Israel, in the land, and they manage to. If you were a poor farmer, okay, in Israel, and you're Jewish, Nebuchadnezzar isn't interested in you. Okay? You're no problem. You're not a warrior. You're not part of the army. You're just really poor. Scratching out a living. That would be kind of who are remaining. Would be those folks. Okay? And so they still remain, and even some of those die, okay, are killed. And this was fate of those left behind after the destruction of Jerusalem, okay? And the whole picture here is one of denunciation, okay? It's one of, you guys are evil. You're God's children. You're evil. You're rotten. Okay? You don't follow God anymore, and now you're going to be punished. And this is all a picture of that. And that's cliffhanger for today.